are live here today. We are definitely going to be discussing grown ass man versus grown ass boys. And man, grown ass boys turn 42. Grown ass boys become 40 and up as well. So a recent spike in cheating in Dallas. Grown ass boys running around telling a motherfucking business looking stupid. Before we even begin with this episode, me taking this channel to another angle here, because I don't usually discuss, I was married for 8 years. Me and my ex-husband have a situationship now. There isn't any hard feelings. I don't hate him. He don't hate me. Like, he's like 20 years older than me. And I have not really had any like bad, super horrible breakups or anything like that. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? I just have kind of been blessed to not really go through any super hard shit, like as far as relationship and sex and I haven't had to go through no super hard shit. So I just want to say that just because I'm no longer married, just because I'm needing to move to Austin to be with my kid, like, it doesn't mean that I don't know anything about men and women. I've just had a nicer time, I think, avoiding the East Coast. I've had a nicer time because I see what's going on with the East Coast and Black women. I don't like it. It's a lot of unhappy bitches. It's a lot of craziness going on, and that's besides the point. Let me stop talking East Coast, West Coast, because that's besides the point. I know where my reign hails. So you have to know thyself. I know where my reign hails. But let's get into this topic. Grown ass boys versus grown ass men, cheaters edition. So the reason why I'm bringing up the topic of cheaters is because I've been flabbergasted by a particular person that I'm around 5 days a week who speaks in a way that's just crazy. I think that not only am I going to be going to talking about cheaters, but I'm also going to be going to talk about just these grown men out here versus these grown ass boys out here. Because it is a difference. It's a big difference in a grown ass man and a grown ass boy. It really is. And I'm gonna start off just by, going off this clip because it's gonna kind of go into our topic today, where we're talking about grown ass men versus grown ass boys, or grown ass boys versus grown ass men. Either way, vice versa. So let's get the show on the roll. Let's listen to this clip.
That's what we're doing. You're not gonna leave me out of this.
All right.
I heard y'all with the bankheading. I know what's going on. I see what's going on.
Welcome back to Sister Circle Live. Of course, we are joined at the table by the very talented and handsome Dondre Whitfield from Owns Queen Sugar.
Yes.
And we have him in the hot seat, and we're talking men and relationships, and we want to get his take on a few things.
Yes.
Come on with it.
Well, you said something amazing during the break, and he is going to share that with you all. But I want to talk a little bit about security. Being secure in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You and your wife both are actors and actress. She is. Right. How do you handle those steamy scenes where you're getting close or intimate with someone on camera?
Well, the first thing that I do is whenever I'm doing that on screen, as I'm currently doing on this show, the first thing I do is call my wife. Even though she knows what's coming, the first thing I do is call her and say, "Hey, sweetheart, that scene is coming up. So I just wanted you to know that, that's what I'm doing today." And, and then once that's over, hey, I'm done. I am an actor who has, first of all, what you need to do is you need to place boundaries on everything. Boundaries are a great thing.
Yes.
Boundaries protect you from not only yourself, but other things around you. So the first thing I do is speak to an actress to say, here's what I don't do.
Right.
I don't do tongue. Right. So you fake it? I'm like, yeah, there are many things. So if we were in the bed and we're supposed to be acting like we're actually lovemaking, we don't actually do that thing.
Right.
So we're actually faking everything.
Right.
So
Not just
yes, I
parts
do
of it.
fake that. So the only tongue I do is with my wife.
Mhm.
So
Good.
if you give everything to everybody, what's the special thing that you give your spouse or your partner? So you have to place boundaries on everything and then
Yes.
properly communicate everything that you're doing as you do it. That's out of respect for your partner.
What do you say to men who don't understand exactly what it means to be a man?
Well, it's very difficult. First of all,
Wow.
it's difficult to explain this to what you're probably referring to is what I refer to as grown males. There's a huge difference between being a grown male and being a man.
Somebody ought to shout it. Right there.
So
Talk to us about that difference.
okay,
yes.
so every man that you meet is a male, but not every male that you meet is a man.
Hello, somebody.
So your man, the man that you meet is about his conscious knowing that he has been sent here to be a servant leader. So you all come first. So whenever you come in the room, you don't have to ask a man whether he is a man or not. He will show you who he is based on what he does. So a man comes in the room to say, sister, you need me to get that? I
Right.
got that. No, put that down. I got that. Grown male walks into the room looking to serve himself first.
A grown male.
A grown male.
It's a
So
difference,
a
guys.
man looks to be of service. A grown male looks to be served.
Oh my God.
Listen, I'm almost about to walk out.
Okay, before we get all the way into this clip, like I said, I am reacting to this grown ass boys versus grown ass man cheaters edition. So I do feel that the first thing I want to take away from what Whitfield is saying is that, he is saying some things in there that make women feel good, but he's also saying some things in there that are just true about being a man. And I feel like when you start talking about the difference between a man and a male, there is no breaking the dude code. There's no breaking the guy code, breaking the bro code. And a lot of dudes probably looked at this clip and was like, he's saying what they want to hear. And then there's probably some guys who look like he's breaking the bro code. No, there is no breaking the bro code. Women and men roles are very simple. That it hasn't changed since the beginning of time, women's roles and man roles. But there is this male mentality that has slipped into the world probably within the past 100 years of these men they're just grown ass males. They're just grown ass boys. Any nigga sitting up just take for instance, if you say for instance, if you are a woman that works at Walmart and there's a guy there who he's a married man, he has 2-3 kids, he may have had a baby mama, and he has a wife and he's always hitting on every girl up there at that job, up there at that Walmart. That's weird, right? That's not weird. You, ma'am, are encountering a grown ass boy. You are encountering a grown male. You're not encountering a man. You're not encountering a man. You're encountering a grown boy and you're encountering a grown male, M-A-L-E, a male that just happens to be over the age of 21, 40. We're going to have to get into this topic because this is a very good topic. I think that we live in an era where women are oppressed, women are suppressed, and I can't even be like really upset like while I say that, because I feel like with my current situationship, it's cool. Like I get what I want out the deal with my ex-husband. I had drinks last night with my little boo. Last night was actually great, bitch. I didn't think no one was gonna happen last night either. But before I got off of work At 8 o'clock, I started getting these text messages, and I got like a phone call, and then I called my little boo back, and I was like, I didn't know you was gonna be available tonight. And you're like, what's going on? Anyway, I went to the tiki bar. We went to the tiki bar last night, had a great time. Went back to his place, had a great time, and I got home this morning at around 9. But anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about right here. Because the person I just mentioned is not married. And yeah, the person I mentioned is not married. They were married for 2 years. The person that I'm talking about that I hung out with last night, he was married for 2 years, like 9-10 years ago. He was married for 2 years. But anyway, I'm just saying all that to say that, there's a difference, and we're going to continue to get into this clip. Like I said, what he's saying right here, talking about, grown males and a grown man. One thing I notice about grown males is that they can be 40 years old and be still immature as fuck and be emotionally fucked up too. Like they almost are like talking to them is almost like talking to another woman. A lot of shit they do, a lot of shit they spew out, and then they seem to even want to combat that with they seem to want to combat that light form of sexism with making issues with the women that are around them at the workplace, or they want to make issues with the women that are around them at the gym, or they want to make issues with women are around them at the grocery store. They want women to bicker and be catty because up here they're emotionally, because a man being emotionally like a woman is really like, this is where a man is supposed to be emotionally. This is where a woman is going to be emotionally. And if a man is down here emotionally, then he loves to see women do all this together. He loves to see women do all that together. He loves that. So the jealousy, inflation, and all that kind of stuff, that's a man who he has a bitch made mindset, and he's a grown male. He's a grown boy. He's not a grown man. So let's just get on into what the rest of this video, because I'm going to do a full react. I am reacting in between. We're listening and we're gauging, and I'm going to be spewing out my thoughts and my commentary on this video, as well as, these grown boys out here that they really just need a lesson, especially these grown boys who are married. They need a fucking lesson. And I'm a bitch that will give a grown ass boy a lesson. So, yeah, let's continue.
I can't believe. I don't know what else to do.
I need you to, no, seriously.
Yes.
And I think a lot of women are in relationships with grown males and in marriages with grown males. And then you end up getting divorced because you were in a marriage with a grown male.
Exactly
and
that.
not a man.
Exactly that. So here's what I want you to think of.
All right.
Think of yourself.
Soundboard.
Think of yourself in a relationship, in a home, in a bed with a boy who is 15 years old, who just took over the body of a 35-year-old male. Mm-hmm. That's really what that equates to.
Yes.
Wow.
Go ahead.
No. Come on.
Hold on, wait now. Some of those grown boys are 40 years old. So what, 35? Okay, the person that I just hung out with last night, he's 37. Just turned 37. He just turned 37. Matter of fact, this month, we're in August, he just turned 37. So, I feel like there's no age cap to a man being a grown boy or being a grown male. So I agree with what he's saying, but the age, yeah, we need to, that's not accurate. It's grown ass boys who just turned 40 this year. There are grown ass boys who just turned 45 this year. So let's not make it an age thing. I'm not gonna make it an age thing. I'm gonna sift past this. He's talking about 35 years old. I'm gonna sift past that, because there are grown ass boys and grown ass males who are not men. They're just a big ass boy and a big ass male, and they just turned 40 this year. So I'm gonna sift past that. But I'm with you.
Iyama Banzant said one time, which really resonated with me. she said that sometimes when people go through trauma, whatever age that they're at, they stay there if they don't heal from it.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
So in that instance, a lot of our men are lacking this fatherhood that you were speaking of in the break.
That's right.
Could this be what is happening with our men, that they're never really healing from those wounds, from not having the man in their life, and they just carry on
Throughout life.
His development was arrested at whatever that age was. So he stopped matriculating into manhood at that point.
age.
Yes.
So let me give you an example. I actually cheated in my life in my early 20s because, and I'll never forget this, I actually cheated on, and I'm not going to say who that is to protect those that, right? So I actually didn't want to do that. And I was disappointed that I actually did. So I began examining why I did that. And I'll never forget this. I got to a point, my father was in and out of jail my entire life, right? So without having, my mother did a phenomenal job of introducing me to the principles of manhood. But actually walking out manhood is the job of a man. My mother can't teach me to be something she's not.
Right.
That's the misconception.
Right.
Your mother cannot teach you how to be a man because she's not a man. Let me give you an example. If you want to become a chef, my mother taught me how to cook. So I'm a man who knows how to cook, but it doesn't make me a chef.
Right.
If I want to be a chef, I got to get under the tutelage of a chef.
Yes.
Okay. So my father actually had me, and this was probably at the age of around 11. My father had me in the car and he said to me, I love your mother. And it made me feel so good because a child just wants to hear that his father loves his mother. But at the very next moment, he looked out the window and whistled to a sister across the street. The messaging that I got from that was, you can love a woman, but then be in lust with a bunch of others. So what that taught me was, this behavior is okay. If that's good for my father, then that's what I should be doing too.
So at what point did you say, I can't live my life like this?
Okay, so I just want to point out that I don't want to make any like snarky comments about Whitfield's father. I think that there are a lot of men who are married men, they have children, and they've been with their wives for 10 years plus, 15 years plus, and they cheated. You know, some men are quiet cheaters. I think most men are quiet cheaters, actually. I think most men cheat in a way that is just quiet. They don't go out here, boasting about it. They're not all up in other dudes' faces about it. They're not, you know what I'm saying, all out here just being glamorous about it. Like, you know, I think that because that's feminine, first of all. If you're boasting about cheating, if you're a married man and you're boasting about cheating, you're, all up in everybody's face about it, happy wife, happy life. And you're just like, there's something wrong with you. Like, you need to be taught a lesson. You really do. I feel like in life, men get a chance to teach women lessons that they might need, and women get to teach men lessons that they might sorely need. I'm kind of feeling like I'm in a situation right now myself where I'm going to have to teach a male a lesson. A male who is not a man, he's just a grown ass male. And I'm not going to go into that situation on this podcast because that's going to have to be done. I feel I'm going to just have to do that. But I do feel that, that's the kind of world we live in. Sometimes women need to be taught a lesson, and sometimes men need to be taught a lesson. And if you're a man that's seeing a young lady at a gym every day, you're seeing a young lady at a place of work every day, and you're angry because she's not all up in your face, she's not all over you, she's not trying to really be all over you like that, and you start using these little tactics, these little nonverbal tactics that you're using, you're a man, you're a grown-ass male that needs to be taught a lesson. I am back in the gym now. I'm around men who are single. I'm around men who are married. I go to a place of work. I'm around men who are single. I'm around men who are married. When you come to a 40-something, 50-some-year-old man and he's acting a certain way, he needs to come out of that. And sometimes it takes a woman doing something about that in order for him to come out of it. And I can only think of one thing. There's nothing else that I can think of. And I'm not going to say it on here because it's something I'm going to have to do. So it's something I'm just going to have to engage in doing. And, it's not anything good, but sometimes men need to be taught a fucking lesson. If you're a grown, married male, you need to act a certain way when you're at these gyms. You need to act a certain way when you're at these jobs. You need to act a certain way when you're at these grocery stores, at these different games and things. You need to carry yourself a certain way. And if you can't do that, don't be mad when that shit follows you all the way back to your front door. Don't be mad, because you don't have the right to make any woman feel like anything because she's not into you. You have these men out here, they have these bruised egos, they have these chips on their shoulder, and they have a lot of hangups about things. And I'm talking about these grown-ass boys. And if you have a big chip on your shoulder, you're not going to feed that chip to nobody. And if you do get a chance to feed any of that chip to anybody, that piece of that chip that you fed to that person is going to go right back over there to you. And that's just the way it is. It's a lot of men out here. I agree with the manosphere. I completely agree with the manosphere. But there's a lot of men out here that are making it hard for the manosphere. And if a man can't sit down and talk the kind of talk this man here is talking, then you're not a man. You're a grown-ass boy. You're a grown-ass boy. Or you're just a male. You're just a 40-year-old male. There's a difference in being a man, especially, and I'm right now, I'm specifically speaking to my married men out here, these married niggas out here. You married, you need to act a certain way at the gym. You need to act a certain way at work. You need to act a certain way at the grocery store. You need to act a certain way at the game. You need to act a certain way, because if you want to cheat, go cheat. It's plenty of pussy out there for you to cheat. One thing about it that men don't want to admit to, I know I'm kind of getting off the video, but this is like a heated topic for a lot of channels. I've been hearing these topics and seeing this stuff. I've even been on a couple of podcasts, in recent news. But yeah, I feel like these men who are grown-ass males, they're not men. They're just being grown-ass males. Like, you're not going to get away with acting foolish with every woman. So it should stop before it gets to the point to where the police is getting called, somebody's getting hurt, all because you want to be a grown-ass male. You want to be a grown-ass boy with a grown-ass woman. I think that's another thing, too, that we're going to talk about in another video, how men carry themselves and they forget that women out here got Glocks, women out here got freaking copperheads, women out here got switches. Women out here it's a whole female on YouTube right now. I can pull it up. That her whole YouTube channel is a black lady. Her whole YouTube channel is about guns. And she said she's been off into guns for over a decade. So like I said, sometimes these grown ass boys, they be at these gyms and they be at these 9-to-5s and they be at these grocery stores. Sometimes they need a hard ass lesson. Especially these grown ass married boys. They need a hard ass lesson. They do. Sometimes they need a hard ass lesson. These grown married boys. Let the video continue.
Because I can't be a cheater. I can't be a deceiver. I can't be someone who's going to betray someone's trust. At what point did that light bulb come on for you?
I'm going to tell you the moment that it came on in parts. So when I got married, I said, okay, I got to make sure that I am living my life out in integrity in that space. And then 2 years later, my daughter was born. And I said, ma'am, you are going to be held accountable not only by your wife, not only by God, but your daughter has been sent to you as a living, breathing example of exactly what you are supposed to put into this world.
Mhm.
So everything that you want for her, you better deliver to your wife.
Mm.
And this is over.
Yes,
This ain't over just yet. So my take on that, with him talking about his daughter and everything, his daughter was born 2 years after, he was thinking to himself about being a man of integrity. I think that there are men of integrity who have done some things on the side, you know. Um, I actually was out before I became a married woman for 8 years to an older man who's, like I say, he's 20 years older than me. Um, Before that, I was in the strip club scene. I'm working on my body, trying to get back to the strip club scene, possibly, or at least to do some parties. I have a friend who still works in pornography who lives in LA, and she's still working in pornography right now. I actually lived with her out in Van Nuys, California before I met Rick. I lived with her for like 8 months. Well, like 7, almost 8 months. I lived with her for I know almost a year. I lived out there in Van Nuys with her, and she kept trying to get me into the porn industry, but I didn't want to be in it. I'll be 31 next year. She also will be 31 next year. So, but she's still in the porn industry right now out there in LA. And so I got a lot of good little connects out there in LA while I was out there. When I go visit San Diego, I try to fly to LA for a couple of days to just be in the scene. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with the people I know there, the few people I know there, and just try to, be in that scene because they're not here in Texas. They are not here in Texas. They are in LA. They are in San Diego. But that was the most 18 to 21. I think was a very fun time in my life because I made it fun. I really got away from my hometown and just made it fun. But anyway, yeah, just going back to what I was saying about him speaking about him being a man of integrity. Him being a man of integrity does not necessarily mean that, I've been in a marriage for 20 years and I've never cheated. These grown ass boys who want to cheat at the gym, they want to cheat at work. Those are grown ass boys. Those are grown ass males. Those are not men. Because one thing about it, when y'all have boys trips, you going with the boys and y'all doing this and doing that, you know what I'm saying? Cheating comes up, there are men who are married who have friends who are getting married who go to bachelor parties, and they have a good time, because they got a blowjob at their homeboy's bachelor party. Been married for 8 years, been married for 7 years, and went to a homeboy party, bachelor party, and got a blowjob. Got a full on till the end blowjob. Okay, like got a happy time out of going to a bachelor party. So, just because men are full of integrity does not mean that they're not going to do something when they're able to do something. It's just there are men who are men about what they're doing, and then there are men who are boys about what they are doing. So, and I feel like I said, men who come across women and they're boys about their personal life, they want to be a boy about it, they need to be taught a lesson. They need to be taught a lesson, pure and simple. You need a lesson. You're talking like that because you need a lesson. One thing I feel that, the way he's talking about his daughter, I don't feel that he would say something to his daughter such as all men cheat. I don't think that he would ever say something like that to his daughter. I feel like that is, in the Black community, that is something that a lot of these beta males are telling their daughters, all men cheat. They just, all men bark. All men are dogs. They just bark different. That's some beta male type of, type of verbiage. That's some beta male type of language to say something like that. There's nothing fatherly about telling your daughter all men are dogs, but they all just dogs just bark different. All all men cheat and things like that. If you have daughters, I think that God gives a man a daughter first because it's natural for there to be a boy to come first and then a girl. But God will give a man a daughter first because of one or two reasons. Because he is a sensitive man and he's suited to be more of a father of a beautiful daughter that will get married one day. Or he gives a man a daughter first because he is an immature man that has a emotional level of a woman here instead of having the emotional level of a man. He's not suited to have a boy first because he has a emotional level of a woman and not an emotional level of a man. You know, and I've always thought of it like that when people say they've had a daughter first. One or two, if I don't know you very well as that man, if I don't know that man very well, I can't speak to it. But if I hear that man talk and start, I'm like, okay, that's why God gave you a daughter first. That's why you don't have a male seed first. Because you're on the emotional level of a damn bitch. You are on the thinking level of a damn bitch. You know, and I do feel like that about men. That's one or two. Either they are sensitive and either they love women and they're sensitive and they're secure in their manhood, or they're just an immature, unequipped emotional man. Because what good is that going to do a little boy being born and he's pretty much got two moms? Just one with the penis and one with the vagina, but he got two moms. What good is that going to do that little boy? You know, having a boy first, that is for men who are truly men. You know, that's for a man he's truly a man out here. He's not just, oh, I bring home the bacon and I you know what I'm saying, I lay down the pipe. And that's what being a man is. No. You understand your emotional level. You understand your wife's emotional level. You understand your role as being a grown man. You understand the dignity that you need to have. You understand the the courage that you need to have. You understand you understand that you're a man. You understand that there's some things that you need to have to a heightened sense, and you have that emotional intelligence as well. But there are, like I said, there are men who they just are little boys. You know, they're just little ass boys. And, you know, I was not married to a man like that. My brothers are not like that. My uncles are not like that. I don't do, you know, I don't even do, like, men who are like that. I can't even be around you because I'm the type of female, I'm going to make it known that you are a little ass boy. You a little ass boy with grown man tendencies. That's pretty much what these grown ass boys are out here. They're just little boys with grown man tendencies. And your grown man tendencies is the fact that you go to a job and you got the sex drive of a grown man and you help pay bills with your wife. That's your grown man tendencies. But you're really a little ass boy in the head. And you a little feminine ass boy too. Right? You just a little ass, you just a little boy. Like it just plain and simple, you a little ass boy. Any man who he's a married man, but he's at the gym trying to find pussy. He's a married man, but he's at work trying to find pussy. He's a little ass boy. And I can promise you that any man who tries to say things to bother me at a gym or at a place of work, you're trying to say things and trying to do little things to bother me, I can promise you I'm going to bother you right back. But I'm going to bother your marriage. I'm not going to bother you because you're a little ass boy and you need to be taught a motherfucking lesson. And that's just that. You know, I'm actually getting ready to go to the gun range tomorrow because I'm not playing. Like, I'm not going to be bothered by any person at a certain age. They're still being like a little ass boy. Like, we're not, you're not getting a pass. I'm not going to forget about it. Like, no, you're a grown ass man and you need to be taught a motherfucking lesson. That's what you need. That's what you need. You know, and I'm not gonna fight you because I'm not a man. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fight you. I wasn't born a man. I have ovaries. I've had a child. Like I'm not a man. But I'm gonna do to you what these grown women out here should do to you. You know what I'm saying? Shelton right now is on the couch because some shit that's done been brought to his wife from a woman. Like for real, when you a grown man, you need to carry yourself. Stop being a little ass boy and be a grown ass man. Nobody cares about your dick at this gym. Nobody cares about your dick at this job. Nobody cares about your dick. All these websites out here, all these apps out here. If you don't go somewhere and get your dick wet, hell, I'm big. I still got some last night. Still got some. Oh my God. Ah. I didn't know that was coming either. We've been talking this week and I didn't know that was even. I'm like, you back in town? You know what I'm saying? You have to go on a run for work. You back in town? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You back in town? What's up? What's good? What's good? Anyway, but that's just goes. I'm just making a point that there are men who they don't have integrity. They don't have dignity. They don't have, wit about, women in their environment, and they're just a grown ass boy. It's more frequent than you think. And one thing I can say about any married man who's out here claiming that he's busting down pussy and he's busting down, let me tell you something. There are two types of women that want to fuck a married man. The first woman is a woman who just wants to fuck somebody else's man. Then you have the woman who knows that you're an easy trick. This is why I'm going to the studio and I'm dropping Trick Kit. And I actually got a friend in Houston that's going to be putting it on his little label so that I can put it up on Spotify. I'm actually going to be dropping a track called Trick Kit. Trick Kit! Nigga, get your Trick Kit! But anyway, I am going to be dropping Trick Kit. So look out for that on Spotify and SoundCloud. Trick Kit by Mina, aka Nita V. Mina. Get ready for this bitch. Anyway, yeah, I mean, because, if you're a married man and you're trying to, bust it down on every bitch, like, it's one or two chicks that you're going to always come across. The chick that wants to fuck you just because you married and she feels like you're safe. Then you got the trick. Then you got the girl who's one up. He's just an easy trick. Because really, that's really some basic shit in my opinion. That I want to fuck him because he a married man and he's safe. Like he could be fucking a transgender for all you know. He could be sticking that married dick in a booty hole for all you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be with him because he married. He's safe. Like, girl, stop. You ain't talking about shit. Like, no. And I ain't gonna lie now. When I was working in the strip club scene in 2010 in Dallas, when I was working in the strip club scene out in Van Nuys, California, when I was working at little parties, I did run across married men, that wanted some this and wanted some that and VIP and all this kind of stuff. I offer phone bill, light bill. I did run across things like that. But I was always more into the sugar daddy thing. Like at 19, 20 years old, I was more off into that sugar daddy thing. I wasn't into that whole dance and then let's see if we gonna do we ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all can give me this money to dance. Me and her came here to dance and we going home. Like y'all ain't gonna give me nothing for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna give me anything for anything. Fuck that. I don't give a damn about that. And there was one actually that was, I ain't gonna lie, I did have some fun with someone who was married back in 2012. And let's just say my rent was paid for like 2 months. I'm not even lying. My rent was paid for like 2 whole months. For real. So this was right before I ran into Rick, but my rent was paid up for 2 whole months. I actually took a bit at my job that I was working during the day to be off a lot. I took a bid to be off a lot because I was like, I don't even need the extra money. My rent, And that was that one time. And that person stayed in Orange County, and they stayed in a very nice house. And he liked chocolate girls. He liked black girls. He said he had a flair for black girls, and I did. That was that one time. But I knew he was married. I went in there knowing that man was married. And that's the one time that I've dealt with a man that I knew for sure was a married man. I was 19 years old, of course, way less slimmer than I am now. And I weighed like 165. And that's what I'm working to get back to, is my normal weight. And, it was what it was. But my rent was paid for like 2 freaking months. My rent was paid. And that was my first time ever getting a YSL bag. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, yeah, it was, yeah. Like I said, he lived in Orange County, and probably that house that he lived in was probably like a $2 million home. Especially for, LA. California period is more expensive. But I'm just saying, Orange County, we all know those are $1 million homes. So he was a man that was out here doing what he wanted to do. He's a married man. And that's why you hear so many women and some men saying tricking is a rich man's sport. It's a rich man's sport. It kind of is at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Really, tricking at this point really kind of is a rich man's sport if you think about it. You really got to have all your ducks in a row, all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed if you want to, if you want to financially, if you want to do that, if you want to be that kind of man. But yeah, as far as this video, actually, you guys, the reason why I've been talking so long is because this video is almost over.
Well, good night. Thank you. And
Andre,
I can't take it.
I wish we had more segments.
I wish we had more segments.
The manhood book is coming.
There you go.
And
Tease
my
that.
gift to all of my sisters is I'm going to train up our males to be men.
Please
so
do.
that they can be the men that they were supposed to be in order to properly cover you and to properly train up our children.
We are Sister Circle Whitfield.
Can we book you next week?
Thank you so much for sharing
My
your
pleasure.
thoughts, your insights.
Yes.
We'd love to hear how you feel. Please send us your thoughts at Sister Circle TV on all of our social media platforms.
Well, I can definitely tell you that I probably will not be taking a look at any more of their videos if they're not talking to guys. I just, I don't watch, what's the TV show called that everyone likes? The View. I never watched The View. I feel like The View, I'm 30, finna be 31. I've never watched The View because I feel like The View is for like women that are like 40 and up. I just feel like, no, not watching The View. I don't watch shows like that. I like this one in particular because it goes along with the subject that we're talking about, grown ass boys versus grown ass men, Cheaters Edition. Because like I said, that was that one time when that happened or whatever with me right before I met Rick. And also I do want to say that there is, an influx in it now. And it's like you have these men who are 40 plus and they want to go around cheating, and cheating is a rich man's sport. Tricking is a rich man's sport at this point. If you not serving up half a bitch rent, if you not, what I'm saying? But like I said, as a married man, you're going to come across women who want to cheat because they want to be with somebody else's man. And then you're going to have the women who are one up on that, the actual smart bitches, the bitches who know that you're just an easy trick. You're a quick and easy trick. You don't $300 me to death, don't $300 me to death, don't $300 me to death kind of hoes. You know what I'm saying? That they know you easy trick. Don't $300 me to death, nigga. Your married ass. Don't $300 me to death. So men in this day and time don't want to accept that. You have these men that they just don't want to accept that, and they want to fight with women about that. If you're a man and you want to non-verbally fight with women, like you want to non-verbally throw these little, interactions and stuff, yeah, it's time that you be taught a lesson because you're a man. You're a grown ass man. And you're going to have to come up out of that boyness, that being a boy. You're going to have to come up out of that just being a male. You're going to have to man up. You're going to have to man up, period. So it is what it is. Playing jokes with people, I can play jokes with you too. Being silly, I can be silly with you too. But you're not gonna like my joke. You're not gonna like my silly, but it's gonna be funny as fuck to me. It's gonna be really fucking funny to me. Cause that joke gonna hit home. That silly is gonna hit home. Cause you running around talking about you a married man. So that silly gonna hit home. That joke is gonna hit home. For me, it's definitely gonna hit home with you. I'm not gonna nah, we gonna joke you out. We gonna gotta joke him out, bitch. What you talking about? Slut him out? Nah, joke him out. If he a married man and he mad he's not getting his dick wet every weekend, girl, joke his ass out. Especially if he's talking all the time and he just yapping like he's a goddamn bitch. Joke him out. Joke him out. You know, I think one thing that's cringy to me is I've came across this a couple times, and one time I actually was, well, it's when I was working at Walmart. Rick had came up to the job and bought some stuff, and I was like, I'll see you at home when I get to the house, whatever. And the guy that was like being weird with me or whatever, being like a woman with me, he got so mad, so angry. This guy was talking about his baby mama drama. I guess I would put it as his baby mama drama. The fact that he has a daughter that's 17 and she's finna be 18. This has rolled back around in my life again. I'm around somebody who's talking like that again, another black man who's talking like that again, talking about she finna be 18 or my kid finna be 18 and no more baby mama drama and da-da-da. Okay, if you a married ass man, that $1,000 a month finna go to $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. You got a 10, 12-year-old at home. You got a 10-year-old, 12-year-old. You got a wife at home. That ain't finna really go nowhere, brother. That ain't finna go nowhere. Oh my goodness. Battle of the sexes, y'all. Battle of the sexes, y'all. That money ain't about to go nowhere, sweetheart. You talking about my kid finna be 18. Well, first of all, while you're mouthing off to a black woman about something that's prevalent in the black community, baby mama drama, while you trying to include every black woman, even though you don't know shit about me, you know nothing about my kid, you know nothing about my situationship with my ex-husband, you know nothing about anything regarding me. You mouthing off to me talking about my kid finna be 18. Nigga, shut. You sound stupid. You sound like a grown ass boy that's ready to cheat. And you about to pay for your cheating, nigga. One thing for sure, two things for certain. I definitely got to play a joke on this dude. But anyway, yeah, joke got to get a joke. He got to get a joke because he don't like women. Like he hate women. Like he feels like women are objects to be fucked and sucked and moved on. And you know I don't like men like that. You know I don't like these little ass boys, these grown ass boys out here, because that's also a grown ass boy mentality. When you feel like that about women, that's some grown ass boy shit right there. You want some grown ass boy time. You're not on your grown man time. You're on your grown ass boy time. And I haven't slept with none of them. I don't know. Maybe the married dude that, you know, my little situation out in 2012 in Orange County with that married man. Maybe that was the one time that I may have been intertwined with a grown ass boy and just didn't know it. You know, but one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Grown ass boys who want to play with women over the age of 25, they got to be made out to be a joke, because you are a joke. You're a joke. And I'm definitely, the emotion is going to fall right back on you, because you're not feeding anybody that chip on your shoulder. You're not feeding anybody those hangups. You're not feeding anybody those different emotional, you know, typhoons that you're having over there. You're not feeding that shit to nobody. Ain't nobody drinking that typhoon. Ain't nobody, you're not sharing that bruised ego shit with nobody. You're not depressing nobody. you are a nigga that need to be put in check. You need to be put in check. I also feel that, you have an influx of men nowadays who they assert their manhood in that way, and it comes off as if they're being grown-ass boys, which they are grown-ass boys. Those are the same motherfuckers that would be fucking everything that looks like a woman. No shade to my LGBT, no shade. I'm talking about the men. Because remember, this is about married men, what I'm talking about. Men who are married to women. I'm not talking about women who are married to women. I'm not talking about men who are married to men. I'm talking about women. I'm talking about men who are married to women. The straight man who is out here looking and protruding himself as a big ass boy, as a grown ass child, a grown ass 12-year-old. That's what I'm talking about. So, there are some of these married men out here, they getting in with everything that looks like a woman. They getting in with everything that looks like a woman. You got that out here too. These men out here, they getting in with everything that looks like a woman. You never know who can survive in jail until they go there. Because you don't know what they got going on. You don't know what they got going on. Let me tell you something. I'm definitely not going to sit here and just speak on it and speak on it. No. There are men who are overly sexed. They got their dick in their hand everywhere they go. Their dick is just in their fucking hand. And they gonna let jerk it off whoever want to jerk it off. Whoever. There are a lot of women who are married to these grown-ass boys who are like that. They're married to these grown-ass boys and they don't even know it, and they never get a chance to hear about it. They never get a chance to. And then, that's another thing. As far as the women are concerned, there are women who are married to grown boys and they don't care as long as none of it ever comes back to them. And I feel like that needs to be corrected because you need to understand that you're married to a grown-ass boy. And your grown-ass boy is not going to come around me and say nothing crazy. He's not going to come around me and make me feel like anything. Because I don't even know your grown-ass boy that you're married to. So you definitely going to hear about it, bitch. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thoughts on that. Like, shit, girl, you definitely going to hear about it, you dumb bitch. Because women like that are only in it for security. Women like that are in it for the comfort of having someone around and the security that everything is, as far as the finances, I don't have to do this by myself. Bitch, you can be married to a man that makes $90K a year and get divorced and still get your little $800-900 a month. You can pay half your rent. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be in the house with somebody who it has a fascist attitude towards women and a flingy attitude towards women and a object attitude towards women to feel safe and secure. And I know right now, there's talks in the works of me moving in with my little boo because he's been my little boo for over 2 years now. And I've been knowing him for like 7 years. I've been knowing this person that I went out with last night. But I've been knowing this person for about 7, going on 8 years now. I've been knowing this person that I hung out with last night. And who actually texted me this morning, I guess when they got back home, let me know they got back home. But, at the same time, it's just these men out here who are little ass boys, they have to be corrected. You're not going to drop your chip on your shoulder on nobody, especially some woman that you don't know nothing about. You're not dropping that big chip on your shoulder to nobody. You're not going to sit up at these gyms and sit up at these 9-to-5s and act silly, impartially, and non-verbally to women. You're not going to do that unless you want to be made out to be a joke. Unless you want to be made out to be a joke. Don't sit up and feel like, oh, I'm going to keep doing that to her and nothing's going to happen. No, because I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to make something real funny as fuck to me happen. It's going to be funny as fuck to me. It's going to be funny as fuck to me, Mina. It's going to be funny as fuck to me. Okay? When I do what I do, it's going to be funny as fuck to me. And only me. And my group of homegirls. And I go down there in San Antonio and be like, girl, you know this dude was it. Girl, let me tell you what I did. Girl, he got so mad, I had to pull my gun out. Because he got so mad, he thought he was finna do that shit to me. He got so mad, and I had to pull my gun out. I had to put the switch on it. Girl, he thought I was playing. He gonna learn that he can't go to a gym and act like that. He gonna learn that he can't go to a place to work at a 9 to 5 and act like that with no women. He gonna learn that he needs to stay in a man's place and talk and act and do like a man. For real. You come across situations where some men, they have to teach a woman, and some women, they have to teach a man. You know, and sometimes that can be dangerous, but hey, I'm also ready for war. So, because you're going to get your lesson. You just got to swallow your fucking lesson. I've ran across men at the gym who are married. You know, they know how to kick a little bit of game to women. And you wouldn't even be able to tell they married. But the way they acted and the way they kicked the game and the way they helped and all that kind of stuff, I'm kind of into him, you know? Like, but you got these men who they really ain't got no game. They looks are fading, and they're just beginning to just be angry at bitches. They just mad at every woman who don't want to get their dick wet. In other words, these grown ass boys. You know, you want to be a grown ass little boy. You know, your glutes look great. Walking up to one girl, your glutes look great. In front of a girl who's trying to do something at the gym. You walking in front of this girl, talking to this girl about how great she looks in front of this big girl on a treadmill running. That's a man with a bruised ego. That's a man with a big chip on his shoulder. That's a man with some hang-ups about his life. He wants to pin women against each other because he's not a man. He's just a grown-ass boy. And he's mad about being a grown, instead of him trying to be more of a man, he wants to be mad about being a grown-ass boy. And he wants to take it out on women. I can promise you, you going into these gyms and doing that, you going into these 9 to 5s at these Walmarts and at these call centers doing that, it's going to come back to you in triple fold and you're not going to like it. And somebody may have to pull a gun on you to make you take your lesson because you're not going to like it, grown ass boy. You're not going to like it, especially y'all who are married. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. So it is what it is. And like I said, there are women who are married to these grown ass boys and they don't care about what that grown ass boy is doing because they feel safe and secure. So as long as none of it ever comes back to them, they're fine. You know, and a woman can only talk to a woman. I can't talk to you about what you're doing. I can't talk to you about what you're doing. I can only talk to that bitch. I can't talk to you about what you're doing because you're a man. You see it from a man's perspective. You see it through a man's eyes. You see it from a man's mind and man's thinking, even though you're choosing to be a big ass, grown ass boy. So it is what it is. It can get very fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to teach a man a lesson. But, you know, I spore from a womb that bore 4 boys before me. You know, I can be a very warrior type of woman. I really can. Like, I'm ready for war. If you mad about your lesson that you got from some bitch, you just gonna be mad. You better stop. You better learn how to not be a little ass boy. You better learn how to be a fucking man. And that's all the fuck I got to say.